So, welcome. Yes. Um, I have a super packed program, so probably, be with me in this regard that we will rush a bit in some parts of it because normally this takes an hour, but we only have half. If you want to follow with me, this is like a workshop. So you need to have a text editor. It makes sense to have an OJS installed. Python 3, actually not so much this time because we only have half an hour. And curl would be super helpful. Also, if you register on this website, CTF-101, SNCC.io, there you can find all of the capture the flag stuff that we have here. So if you want to take part of this, please go there and install it. Otherwise, lean back and enjoy the ride. So, what we are about to do here now in the next roughly half an hour is the Capture the Flag 101 workshop that we have in SNCC. The idea behind the Capture the Flag is something that I will introduce a bit to you, but I will also show you how SNCC is kind of using this. So first question, what is SNCC? SNCC is actually a cloud-native application security provider, and we are developer focused. So all of our things, all of our tools, and you will see obviously one in action later on, but all of the tools are developer focused. We are looking at the developer and we are trying to make the developer being the first, so to say, bastion in cybersecurity for the application. This means also that we have a big stake. We want to make cybersecurity something that is ubiquitous. Every developer should think about it, and it should be natural. It should be easygoing. And obviously, this doesn't go easily. As already told, I used to work for Microsoft. 2003. Remember the time when Bill Gates sent the email that Microsoft is unsecure and needs to be secure and stuff like this? Okay, maybe I'm a different generation than you are, but this was the time we were in. And when I joined Microsoft, my first task was developer security. And I remember it very vividly because my first half year at Microsoft, I was speaking in front of empty rooms because nobody was interested in developer security back in the days. Everybody said, make the platform secure and we are fine. This changed. One thing we identified back in the days, and this is still true today, is make it yourself and people get interested into it. And this is the idea behind Capture the Flag. Hack yourself, try how to get an application to unveil data that you should not see in a way. And by doing so, you learn a lot about things that you should do be different or you should do different in your job. So Mika is actually, so to say, the brain behind the stuff that you are about to see here. He's like a super old seasoned Java developer, open source contributor. He did books and all of these stuff. And by the way, in his spare time, he builds slot machines or something like that. So I try to kind of do the same in a way. I learned yesterday at 7 o'clock in the afternoon that I have to do this, so I try to have something funny here. My point is that I did these security talks like 20 years ago, and not a lot of things have changed. If you look at the OWASP top 10, so the list of the typical issues in security, they're still kind of the same like 20 years ago. Fun fact about me is I collect academic titles. I'm currently doing a PhD in static code analysis. So if somebody's interested in this, let's freak out later and have some geeky talk that we can do some. Good. So now what we are about to do is capture the flag. What is about capture the flag? What is this? How does it work? And we will do one challenge together. Maybe if you have your laptop with you, you can, so to say, follow it on your own laptop. Otherwise, as I said, lean back and enjoy. So, honing security skills. This is the idea of Capture the Flag. So what we have with the Capture the Flag is we have a sort of challenges, ever increasing in complexity challenges. So we are easy to start, but we are getting more and more complex over time. And what we are asking here is literally to combine your knowledge. It is not only that you are a JavaScript guru and because of this you can hack it. No, you also need to learn a bit and understand how the database comes into this, how the protocols work, so stuff like this. It's cross-functional. It opens up the brain. in a magnificent way. You learn a lot of things about different elements of the stack. That said, on the other side, you don't need to be a big expert on a language or something like this. Even if you have no idea about JavaScript, you will see how easy it is to follow along and to learn something out of this. Learning is the big element about it. Learning about security problems, sometimes how easy it is to literally use these security flaws to, kind of hack the application. That was the thing that I vividly remember from back in the days when we showed how to use a browser and a text editor to hack an application. Everybody, losing their face color. Everybody was getting like, oh, shit. Sorry for that word. Okay, so learn, that is important. And the third part is it's a social thing. So it's best if you do it in a group. So building a group of people, cross-functional, open mind, thinking out of the box, that it helps enormously. It's a team sport. Do it in a social environment. Okay, next question. What is the flag? So what are we literally trying to find? And in our case here, it is actually, it starts with SNCC, then a curly braces, and then a kind of a code that is behind it, alphanumeric in this regard. This is actually not a valid code. I saw the first people already noting it down. No, it's not a valid code, but it was a good idea. So starting like this, you're already starting capture the flagging. With this, you have several, so say tasks, like the invisible ink. This is one task, it gives you 50 points. And we will do one of these tasks, especially the invisible ink task we will do. So, let's begin. Whoever wants to follow, you are pre-warned, you need of this. So, rules of engagement. If you do a capture the flag event, it is all about communication, it's all about group, it's all about bragging, making others jealous about the things you did. So share progress in chat, talk about it, ask questions to others. If somebody says, oh, I already have this, maybe you can ask these guys to give you a kind of a hint how to work with this. There's a lot of social interaction in there. What we are doing in SNCC is normally having different channels on different communication platforms to be able to enable people to talk to each other in this way. What you should not do is no spoilers. Yeah, I mean, if you post like, hey, this is the flag, next one. Okay, you took the fun away from the whole thing, Normally, if you look at these capture the flag things, you will find the solution somewhere. Somebody wrote it down or something like this. Okay, you can do this, but it's not the fun. It's not giving you this kind of experience that you have with this. And another thing is, don't hack the backend. Capture the flag is normally on a very lightweight environment, and the idea is to kind of guide you towards one of the issues that you have there. It is not built to withstand any kind of denial of service attack that you could come up with. So, and that's not the point, It's not the point to kill the environment for everybody. It's the idea to literally follow the path and do that. So, let's do the invisible ink thing. Where is it? No, this one. So, if you go to this website, this is what you will see. And there you see the challenges. By the way, you need to sign up and to log in. And then you see this stuff. You see there are solutions, so you can literally have a hint or two. And what we will do is we will look at the invisible ink. So clicking here. And you see it's a challenge, 24 solved it. It gives 50 points. It's written in JavaScript. Expose a hidden vulnerability in the web application. And it's actually this web application. So, it's not like the best of all web applications, but it's a web application. What we also have here is we have a hint. And we have 2 files that we can download that give us more information. Normally, you should not click on the hint to begin with, don't spoil your fun at it. I will do this, and the hint literally is that you could use a tool, namely SNCC, to help you with this, and we will do this later. So this would be the hint here. So now, what we also have is these 2 two files, and you could say, yeah, but normally as a hacker, I don't have these two files to start with, and if I have the index.js, I have a lot of information already, and that is not the point. The point is we want to show you something that you can find out easier if we give you this hint, and if we give you this kind of information. So the idea is collect every information that you can get on, think about it, and try to find your way through it. The later stages, the more complex the thing will be. So if you have a 300-point task, you will not get the index.js anymore. This is one part of getting the index.js then. So next thing is, if we look at the website, we see it has request, post. It says -echo, content type, application, and the body, message ping, and then it has a response coming out of this. So the thing that we can now do is we can sort of say, go back. We can think about what do we know already. And this is typical for capture the flag. What you want is you want to collect information, you want to understand more, you want to sort of say, get the stuff together. So we know there's a URL, there's a port with this, it's written in JavaScript, there's a package JSON there, index.js, and we are talking now about HTTP protocols. There was this post thing. And 3 verbs you need to know in HTTP to solve this one. There's the get verb. So if I literally do an HTTP request to a server and I said I want to get this kind of information, it's like asking the server to give me the content of a kind of a bulletin board back. Then there is a post, which is literally telling the server I have something to put on that bulletin board for you. So here is the content, please put it there. And then there is a delete, which literally means there is something on this bulletin board and I want to get rid of it. I want to have it out there. It's a very, very basic thing to think about HTTP, RESTful communication. So this is 3 of the verbs that you have. And we found a hint there. Okay. So let's hack. So what I did was, in my preparation, since probably you don't want to see me typing, I kind of have my demo ready here. So the first thing that we can do is we can literally use a tool called curl. Screen good enough? Yes. So what curl does is curl asks the web server, here is our URL and the port, and curl literally posts directly what the web server would come back with. So this is what the browser sees. Now we have it in the command line interface. This is a Windows machine, and you will see what the problems will be with Windows later using curl in this regard. So you see, these are the feedback that we have. And interestingly, we see something that is called flag in here. And it says flag disabled. So that is interesting. Another thing that is interesting, it says post to echo. Okay, so what we are doing currently is we are sending a get to the root directory. So maybe we change our little curl command and we say, did I not? Okay, I need to have it all. There we go. So, and we say we call echo. But what you see is now we have the service echo. So this was exactly what was promoted up here. But it says, cannot get. So it has a problem here. Okay. So the next thing we will probably want to do is we want to set a post. So what you do in curl is that this is the way. Come on. Be nice to me. Copy. There we go. So this is the way that you say curl, I want to use a different verb. So I want to use the verb post and the same URL. So let's do this. And you see, all of a sudden, we get a different answer. And the answer is called JSON. It's a data format that is very common in JavaScript. It calls a user ID, it says a time, and still we have the flag being disabled. Okay? So next thing. What we can do now is we can think about sending some payload. So we are using curl again. we are using curl again. And we do some payload with it. We send a message here. And as you can see with the D flag, what we're literally doing is we're posting something up there. And now we are saying what we're posting is actually this message in there, hello devs. But as you can see, nothing changed. So why could this be? So who was listening? Who was seeing? Okay. Okay, I think I nearly understood you. But I think you did the right, you were mentioning the right thing. Content type. We haven't set the content type correctly yet. Here, it's asking for a content type application JSON. What we're doing is we're not setting the content type currently. So, next thing, we are literally setting the content type. Content type, there we go. Come on. So, here we go. So, what we are doing now is we're setting the content type here. And let's see how the thing reacts on this one. I could not find the file specified. Yeah. Okay, there is an artifact from my last. Here we go. So, now it transports the message correctly. Okay, so we learned some things already. How to interface this, how to get some data in there. One thing that you already can observe, and which is kind of the problem for the downfall of the application, is already there. And it shows you that it literally repeats whatever you send it. So when you send hello devs, it literally comes back and says the message was hello devs. So there is something in there that helps us to get data in without being sanitized. Qualitative data flow. So this is one probable cause for the downfall that we have. So what I did was I downloaded the package JSON, the index.js, so the two files that were in the hint. What I also did was I did npm install. So I literally have now the packages installed that this application would use. What I can do next is I use the Snyk CLI. I say Snyk test, and what Snyk test does, it's literally looking into the package JSON and sees, and the package log JSON, and sees what kind of vulnerabilities are obviously there. And you see, it already reports things like prototype pollution. So prototype pollution is a very special thing on JavaScript. And the typical way, the next step you would do is learn. So what you can do is you can copy it out there. You can go to Google. You can look up what is prototype pollution. What does it say? How does this work? It's literally, to make it very short, in JavaScript, it's kind of like classes. Okay, don't stone me. It's not like exactly like the whole thing, but it's kind of classes. So every object is a bit of a class in itself. And what you can do is by altering the prototype of these objects, of all of these objects, you will alter every object. And with this, you can inject data into the application. And this is actually prototype pollution. So what we know is our solution that we have is actually vulnerable on prototype pollution. So good to know. This gives us a kind of another glue in how to hack it. Okay, so next thing, what we can do is we can literally follow one of the links here. So this example, here see, these are links. So what we can do is we can literally follow that link, and typically what you see is this is one of the known issues that we have on this kind of Lodash library that we just found out. And the nice thing is that you have proof of concepts ready available in the internet. Okay, this is the SNCC website, but you will find proof of concept exploits all over the place. So the next step after knowing now the guys are using Lodash, this Lodash version is actually vulnerable against this one, is to use it to inject a prototype pollution into it. So the one thing that you could do now is you could simply try it. So we could start Node, and we could simply take this one, and we could simply look into how does normally a prototype look like. So you see, if you are looking into the prototype of a JavaScript object, it is empty. It doesn't bring us back anything. So when we are now using the exploit that actually SNCC gives us, I do this here. Whoop. So if we're doing the same thing again, and we are looking now into the prototype, you see, all of a sudden it has test 1, 2, 3, test 2, 4, 5, 6. So what we did was, by using this, we were literally injecting into the objects, every object of this JavaScript instance, we were injecting data into this. Now all of them has test and test 2. Okay, so now we know there is this library. Now we know it's a prototype pollution problem. We know that we can inject any kind of text and it will repeat the text. So we have a lot of information already, but how do we use this? So one thing we can do is we have a look into the source code of the website. Can you see it? It's okay? Okay. So the website obviously here loads Lodash. Typically for Lodash, and we know Lodash is the thing that is vulnerable, is that they are using the underscore to represent Lodash. And what they're doing here is they're using Lodash, merge, out, and request body. So what is out? Out is this one, user ID. Okay.